Hello, all the students. Welcome to ASCAD once again. And today, once again, Divyanshu is there with me, and he had his interview of SIIB Pune. So we are going to discuss with Divyanshu to understand how the group discussion was and moreover how the interview was. वैसे दिव्यांशु ने मुझे बताया कि SIIB का जो इंटरव्यू है, it was actually grilling कई सारे questions में. They actually tried to create a stress also. So let us try to understand what kind of interview it was from Divyanshu. Yes, Divyanshu, welcome, and tell me how the flow was and what actually happened.
Sir, first we were taken into the Zoom meeting, and then we were entertained for a while by the person of the admissions committee. Then we were shown a video about the history of Symbiosis, about the founder and everything. After that, we were separated into various break rooms, after which there was a GD. It was a GD. There was mentioned that it was GEPI, but indeed it was a GD only.
Okay.
There were two panelists, both for males.
Okay.
And they said the GD would be about work-life balance, myth or reality. There were roughly 10 people in my group, and a total of 120 people in total. So 10 people were segregated, I would say, in every slot. So about work-life balance, myth and reality, we were given 30 seconds to make an opening statement. And then we were given the platform for 10 minutes to talk about it. Then for again the concluding remarks, we were asked to give our concluding remarks of about 30 to 60 seconds. And that was the entirety of the group.
Yes, and I remember the Divyanshu, we anyway had a discussion on a related topic. We were discussing about the 70 hours week, and possibly in the discussion, the reference to Narayan Murthy's statement, and the L&T's CEO statement, and I guess सब कुछ उस discussion में ज़रूर आया होगा, is it?
Definitely, sir. I think that gave me an edge over other candidates because we had this very similar discussion a couple of days back. So I was able to articulate my thoughts well and give it a proper shape in the discussion.
Absolutely. So all the students, the first exercise, it was actually a group discussion, and now over to PI. PI कैसा था?
Sir, contrary to NMIMS, this was very grilling, honestly. I think I spoke a lot about the panelists were sweet back in my NMIMS interview.
वो नजर लग गई बेटा.
So it was actually grilling. When I entered, there were two panelists. So panelist one greeted me with a good afternoon, and then he asked me, tell me a little about yourself. Then I went on with that formal introduction. Then he asked me like, why MBA? After that, since you've done BCA, why MBA? Why not an MCA degree? Then as I was speaking about the MBA degree, I think he got a call or something, so he asked the other panelists to take over. Which was again something I did not want it, but okay. Then I talked about why MBA. Then he asked me, which is your inclination? What specialized would you want in your MBA? Then I said, I'll be better suited after I complete my first year in an MBA to answer this question. But right now my inclination is marketing. So when I mentioned marketing, he asked me what skills that you have acquired from your BCA you would include in the marketing domain. I tried to answer it, but he cut me in between. He kind of felt like there are no real skills that I would bring into the marketing sector from the skills that I have already learned in my bachelor's. Then he said, all right, anyways, pivoting to another domain. He asked me, can you tell me how the global trade has been? So rather than asking it in a very broad sense, I wanted to narrow it down to India specifically. So I said India has been doing really well in terms of trade. Our manufacturing has been more than ever. Export and imports are more than ever. And even when the entire globe is in recession, we are doing fairly well, I believe. So he kind of asked me to not beat around the bush, to be very straight to the fact that how global trade has been. So I tried to answer it in the best manner possible, but I think he wasn't very satisfied with my answer.
But anyway, see students, what happens is SIIB is actually known for international business. So yes, you people should go with a mindset like such questions may come. And you people will have to understand the broader picture as well. You can talk about the disturbances in the supply chain because of the two ongoing wars, and at the same time, you can actually talk about and you can give a reference to Trump's coming back to power and the possible onset of a trade war also. Even if we talk about these kind of things, I think that would have been Okay, a better and a more relevant answer. But anyway, carry on. Then what happens?
Definitely, sir. Then he asked me about this trade. Then he asked me, do you know what is CEPA? And this was something that I was entirely unfamiliar with.
CETA, I guess.
I don't know, sir. It could be CETA because again, I was.
It is actually comprehensive economic and trade agreement between the European Union and Canada. Okay, that was that. Okay, okay. But
Could be,
anyway,
sir.
it was not something of latest origin. I guess this agreement was entered in 2014. So that is the reason. Possibly even I thought like questions based on CETA. Okay, and that is the reason I was not hoping to have this kind of question. So therefore, when we took our classes, we did not focus on that. But anyway,
Right, sir.
actually, all the students do understand. Okay, even if you go with a complete preparation, but still be ready with any such kind of unexpected situation and question as well. And that is the reason in almost all the interviews, the classes, I keep telling the students, be ready and expect the most unexpected questions as well. And ऐसा क्वेश्चन कभी आ भी जाए ना, बहुत ज्यादा घबराने की जरूरत नहीं है. लिसन टू द क्वेश्चन, इफ यू नो द आंसर वेल एंड गुड, अदरवाइज बहुत पोलाइटली हम लोग मना भी कर सकते हैं. यू कैन से दैट कि सर इस बारे में मुझे कुछ भी नहीं पता है. तो एनीवे दिव्यांशु, फिर क्या हुआ?
Exactly, sir. So that's what I said. I don't know much about it. I'll read about it. Then he asked me, all right, can you tell me what's the import and export ratio?
Okay, okay, okay.
Again, I think I read it somewhere, but I was unable to recall it at that point. So I said I can't recall it. Then he asked me, what is India the biggest importer of?
Right.
That this was one question that I knew the answer of because of you again.
Absolutely.
So this was fine enough, sir. I could answer it properly. Then he asked me like, "Are you sure?" I said, "So yeah, I've read about it. I'm sure about it." Then he kind of pivoted to another sector. He asked me, "What do you think about the renewable sector? What do you think about its future?"
Okay.
So I said, "So it's probably the only sector that's going to boom."
Right.
Because even in a small city like ours, I believe every other household is now equipped with solar panels. Electric vehicles have become the new norm, and I believe that people are trading their petroleum vehicles for electrical vehicles because everyone knows this is the future.
Alright.
Because it also puts a curb on the climate change, I believe. So definitely, sir, I was all in favor of it, but I think because I thought I was in the flow, I also mentioned that government does provide us subsidies too. So
But subsidies are related?
exactly, sir.
Okay.
There he asked me, so do you know about FAME?
Okay, my God, fame.
Yes,
तो fame के बारे में तो definitely नहीं सुना होगा.
Definitely no idea, sir. Even though I own an electric
Fame,
vehicle.
fame is also a scheme, a subsidy scheme to actually promote the electric vehicles in India. I guess 2015 में इसका first version आया था and 2019 में इसका second version. इसका पूरा नाम तो we will have to see fast. I don't know manufacturing और ऐसा कुछ, but वो EV से related है. Okay, I'm missing the full form, but FAME is also a subsidy basically EVs को boost करने के लिए. But anyway, actually this is what happens. All the students I keep saying, आप तो ना पढ़ते रहो, देखते रहो, ऑब्जर्व करते रहो, है ना. केवल क्लासेस से ही इंटरव्यू बहुत अच्छी तरह से होता है, दैट इज नॉट द केस. क्लासेस से आपको पूरा गाइडेंस मिल जाता है, पॉलिशिंग हो जाती है, दिस दैट, बट एट द सेम टाइम कीप ऑब्जर्विंग. ओके, कुछ भी चल रहा है, शॉर्ट्स पढ़ते रहो, न्यूज़पेपर्स के टच में रहो, कहीं ना कहीं कोई ना कोई चीज कनेक्ट हो जाएगी. एंड सी द मोमेंट ही टॉक्ड अबाउट सब्सिडी, ओके, पैनलिस्ट के दिमाग में सीधा फेम आया बिकॉज okay, anyway the discussion was pertaining to EVs as well. So that is the reason. This is how the panelists actually relate. At the same time हम अपनी classes में cover भी करते हैं. We have spoken about this कि EVs के बारे में knowledge रखो, green hydrogen के बारे में knowledge रखो, ethanol से related चीजें पता होनी चाहिए, international solar alliance के बारे में पता होना चाहिए. तो renewable energy पर questions आने के पूरे chances हैं. And that is not only about SIIB. Whichever interview you talk about. Yes, carry on, please.
Yes, sir. So then he asked me about FAME, and again I was clueless.
Right.
So he said, "Ki because you mentioned subsidies, so that's why I thought of asking you about FAME." I said, even though I'm an owner of an electric vehicle, I know that government does give out subsidies for the same, but I was unaware about FAME, obviously. So there he asked me, all right, it's okay.
Okay.
Now pivoting to another question. that let's say Divyanshu, so this is the part where the grilling actually started.
Okay.
Till now, I was, I think, unable to answer 2 or 3 GK questions, but I
Okay.
thought the interview was going fairly decent.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So here he asked me, what other colleges have you applied to and what other calls do you have?
Acha. Okay.
And this is a fair question. I thought I could answer it simply. So I said, through CAT, I have applied to the IIMs, ZAT, and MIMS and other colleges as well. So then he gave me a hypothetical scenario of, let's say, Divyanshu, if you convert all of your calls, so which college would you choose? And again, you
We
brushed.
already had a discussion. over
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So
Right.
I was pretty sure about it, to be really diplomatic here,
Okay.
not to disrespect any college.
Right.
So I said, so obviously, since Symbiosis International Institute of International Business is of paramount importance when it comes to international business, one of the very few colleges in India that does offer this course.
Right.
So I believe it won't be an easy pick. Of
Right.
course, and given my situation, what will happen at that moment, I'll make a calculative and informed decision.
Agreed.
So there he asked me, so you're kind of saying that you leave IIMs for SIIB.
Okay.
But sir, then again, I mean, again, Symbiosis is a very prestigious institute, and I believe, again, I would be happy to join an institute like this. So I said again, sir, it's very difficult to put a finger on a single college right now. So then he said, Divyanshu, I kind of know which college you'll go to. I don't know, sir, what gave him the hint.
Okay. Okay.
But anyways,
Yes, all the students be ready to have these kind of questions as well. And see, try to understand. Even the panel knows handling such a question may not be easy for any student. Even if the same panelist had been a student, उनके लिए भी उतना ही troubling होता ऐसे confusion, ऐसे questions को handle करना. But see, what is more important is not the answer which you give. What is more important is how you handle the situation and how you handle that question. And that is the reason, students, such a dilemma sort of questions are put forward. But anyway, आप cool compose रहो, understand. Go with the clarity. थोड़ा सा polish करके चलो कि मुझे कैसे answer देना है. And anyway, हम सब अपनी classes में prepare करते ही हैं. And that is the reason Divyanshu ने उसी तरह से answer भी दिया. But actually वो panelist पीछे ही पड़ जाए तो what can be done? But ठीक है. Okay, वो अच्छा, one thing you people understand, ऐसा कभी नहीं होता है कि as we were not able to give the answer to any question because of that हमारा selection नहीं होगा. Okay, ऐसा नहीं होता है. Even if the answers are not given, we have seen many such students. They were not able to give answers to even 30-40% of the questions, but still they got the final selection. And during that interview, self-assessment कभी मत करना. Okay, ये मत सोचना कि ये मेरा interview तो गया. Keep fighting till the last second. Okay, तो फिर वो discussion कैसे end हुआ?
so I wish it ended there, but it did not.
Okay.
So he said, Divyanshu, I know where you'll go. And I said, I don't know, sir, what gives you the impression, but all right. Then he asked me, all right, Divyanshu, but I would like to know more. So
Okay.
let's say if I give you a final selection from SIBM Pune
अच्छा.
and SIIB, then what you'll choose? So I think he was adamant on the fact of me putting my finger on a single college.
Right.
So there again, I said the importance of SIIB and SIBM. It'll be a difficult choice. But yeah, that was it. So then he said, all right. Again, he ended with, Divyanshu, I know where you'll go. Anyways, but lovely talking to you and I hope you make it.
Okay.
So that was it, sir.
That was the end.
Yes, sir.
चलिए, so thank you very much, students. I think दिव्यांशु ने जो भी अपना experience share किया and whatever happened in the interview and whatever the topic was in the GD. So it was a lovely discussion, and I believe that the inputs given by Divyanshu will definitely help you. And that is not only for SIIB, but all these questions are pretty relevant for the other interviews as well. So stay tuned with AceCat, and if you people are looking for to have a dedicated preparation for personal interview, and even after taking so many classes elsewhere, if you feel like that confidence is not coming, okay, I vouch all the students become the part of AceCat's GDPI batch and you will feel the difference. So thank you very much for being with us. Thank you, Divyanshu.
Thank you, sir. Bye.